So uncivilized.
Greetings and welcome to the 1-6 Scale Man proudly presents another episode of Uncivilized Scoundrels. I am your host, Leo Rockwell, for the 1-6 Scale Man YouTube channel, welcoming you all in. Now, we will probably have a few more folks skirting in here. It is the 4th of July, by the way, so I'm pretty sure people outside watching fireworks, attending to some things, enjoying some food, probably overdosing on some food. But if you're not, and you're here rocking with me, man, then you know it's going to be a hell of a show. Definitely, we got some things to talk about. The latest episode 6 of the Acolyte. Again, it did give us some very important information, things to go off of, things that, you know, we could probably assume are happening in this particular episode, and, you know, things to come. It could be a warm up to things to come, a lot of things that we've actually, I think we've learned about Vanessa Rowe. We'll find that out, and her probably possible connection to Chimera. Again, we see that Master Soul is kind of going through it emotionally. He might have some things that are hidden. Hopefully next week we find out what happened between him, Osha, and May. The truth, that is, because we've been holding out for the truth for the longest time. I don't know how long it's going to take until we finally reach that space of the truth, but we'll get there. You know what I mean? When we're supposed to get there, we'll basically find that out probably next week. And yeah, there's definitely a lot to find out. You know, we've learned everything that we can learn up until this particular point. But do me a favor, hit that like button if you haven't already, man. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you're always up to date to what we got going on over here on the channel. And also, before we actually jump in and before I get to the chat to say what's up to everybody and everybody that's actually in here this evening, this amazing evening. I know it's night for y'all. I do want to give a shout out to the places where we get these figures from. I always do this each and every show so that, you know, definitely I want to give a shout out to them because, like I said, they demand that respect, and they also make sure that I am supplied with the figures that I need. I want to give a special shout out to my man Ray over there at Underground Figures. Again, all day, every day, Ray. If you're looking for those figures and those figures that you can't find, head on over there, hit him up, and he'll definitely take care of you. No NRD, full transparency. He will make sure that you get everything that you definitely need. Sign up for that newsletter so you are always up to date with everything that is coming, everything that will make its appearance. He is always good for that. And on top of that, you'll get that figure in a timely manner, maybe 2 to 3 business days because he's fast like that. Always, that's just what he does. Hit up Ray over there at Underground Figures, and he'll definitely take care of you. Tell him I sent you over there. He got you, as he always does. Also want to give a super duper shout out to my man Ray over there at Hawk Wars Toys. Again, another Ray. It's always the tale of 2 Rays. Definitely will make sure that you have all the figures that you actually need. Not only does he definitely make sure that you actually have your figures, but he'll give you a sticker, comic book to boot, to make sure that you have all source material there and you are always in the now. Ray is such a dope dude. He's also one of the guys. He's actually the person who's heading up and sponsoring Summer Madness over there at the Figure Flex Friday Facebook group. So make sure, if you haven't already become a member of the Figure Flex Friday Facebook group, that you have done so, because you stand to win one of the 4 prizes you know, that he has up there, and it's 4 figures that you get to choose from. So definitely head on over there and he'll definitely take care of you. Also want to give a super duper shout out to my man Watches 6 over there, Comic Belief Comic Collectibles. From comics, 1/6 scale, 1/12 scale, 1/10 scale, anything that you're definitely looking for, he got what you need. He'll definitely make sure that you're taken care of. You just go on over there, tell him I sent you, he got you. And last but not least, I want to give a shout out to my man Brian Wong over there at Module Case, Module Space. He will give you what you need to proceed when it comes to your collection. If you want to have an incredible display, head on over there. He has, you know, anything for all scales. On top of that, I got that mono coming soon. I can't wait to do that. to have that here so I can, do a review on it, tell you what I think about it. And yeah, man, it's just going to be hype. I cannot wait to get that here. You see that mono right there. So definitely wanted to give him a super, super duper shout out. Now I'm definitely not alone in the building. Joining me is the one and only. Come on, man. If y'all don't already know, like the reason. Okay, listen. The reason why he's not in right now, though, Vinnie got a lot of things going on, right? Not only is he out there landscaping each and every day, making sure that everybody's lawn is on point, but that's his first job. That's primary. Second job is he carries a clipboard. Now he has a den mother. He carries a clipboard. He makes sure that when he's actually out there, he's also recruiting. You got the den mother. You got the person out there that's making sure that he recruits for the room. This is what Vinnie does. And, he has to make sure the stable's cleaner. The day was the 4th of July, so he wanted to make sure everybody was, good and fit. He probably had them all outside watching the fireworks, and he was like, yo, chop, time to get back in the room. Joining me is the one and only Vince. What's going on with you, bro?
They each get sparklers, and then they form a line for when I come down the driveway. And then, sometimes you got to pop off,
Bro, you said you got sparklers. You got them going down the Soul Train line with this. Bro, that's crazy.
They form a joint like this, and you just right on down the driveway. then it's crazy. Right back in the room. You know what I mean? But
you know what I mean? Now listen. I want y'all to realize that when we talk about this stuff, it's not like he's basically running like a slave camp or a job. No, they are willing. These are willing. They are willing participants in the room. They have occupational.
They have their independence, if you will.
Yeah.
It's a happy community here at Casa de la Vinnie.
Definitely happy community, bro. Thanks for being here, man.
It's always compound. What's good, man? What's good?
It's the compound. That's what you gotta talk about. Always the compound. Definitely, man. Thank you. Now, before we actually jump in this, gotta bring the folks in here that are definitely watching us right now and holding us down. Everybody out in the chat. We got my man Charlie the Unicorn in the building. He said willing. Vinny said, Vinny, yo, what's going on with you? We got Avenger Liam in the building. What's going on with you, brother? We got Avenger Rising in the building. Evening. Thank you for being. I'm loving that picture, bro. Definitely love the picture. Thank you for being here. We got my man Tijuana Mike, aka King Churro, in the building. What up, Leo? What's going on with you, brother? Happy 4th to everybody out there. We got Mary Sullivan in the building. I like your theory, Charlie the Unicorn. Ooh, I want to see what his theory was. Beskar Kid, kick the tires, light the fires, Big Daddy. You already know. Thank you for being. We got Jeffrey in the building. Howdy, folks. What's going on with you, Jeffrey, my man? What's going on with you, brother? We got Amber May, the den mother, in here. She's like, hey, everyone. Yo, Amber.
What do you think holds the clipboard?
Bro, she be holding the clipboard down, bro. We got it for crew.
Hold on. All right, we got it. We got to switch out the 4 o'clock. The 4 o'clock is called out sick. We're gonna do a 3:30 in for it to make up for it, and then tomorrow they'll work a double.
See, holding it down. You already know, definitely, bro. Happy day, Will Smith and Jeff Goldberg saved us from the aliens. You already know, bro. That's how it is, brother. That's how it is, brother. We got Beskar Kid in the building. Welcome, my bro. We got Clinton Martin in the building. Thank you for being here, bro. A lot of people were hating on that. I figured this place got, but that's funny. Thank you for being here, bro. Barry Sullivan's in here. What's going on with you? Thank you for being here. Who we got? Double Dog in the building. Thank you for being here as always. Commander Green. Hey, Lael, my man. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you too, Commander Green. So thank you for being here, bro, as always. Charlie the Unicorn is in the building. Thank you for being here. We got Dennis, my man Dennis Perez in the building. Happy 4th. Happy 4th to you, bro. Thank you for being here as always, man. I appreciate you. Who else we got in here? Rockamon Chris Spoiler. Interesting observation made in the last episode was after Osha sees Chimera scar on his back, it cuts to Ro using the lightsaber whip. She was definitely tapping that apprentice ass. Bro. Listen, Rockamon Chris, and you might not be that far away from the truth, bro.
I mean, the way she was, we'll get into it. The way she was,
bro.
It definitely seems possible. There may be some, might be some roots actually going on in the background. We'll
Some
see.
connections there, bro. We already know. We got my man Movie Cannon in the building. Happy 4th, everyone. Thank you for being here, Movie Cannon, my guy. And of course, come on, man. What would it be if we didn't have Renz Talentino in the building? Renz Talentino is in the building at the moment. Thank you for being here, brother. We do appreciate you, man, as always. So, yeah, man, we're going to definitely jump into that in just a minute because it was a lot to take away from this episode, which honestly, bro, it didn't. I mean, the reason why I loved it was the plethora of information. And on top of that, finally, bro, we got some decent dialogue between characters that kind of ties a lot together. Mm-hmm. A lot of stuff that Chimera was saying. The one thing that I loved about this episode so much, you know, without really jumping too far in it, though, what I loved about it was, bro, like Chimera is literally becoming the most interesting character of the show to me because of how his approach is, you know, how his approach to, you know, because you almost have like a level of empathy for the character, you know, because like I said, his level of solitude of where he's at, you know, we're going to find out. I mean, again, a lot of people have their ideas. Now, the thing is, Leslie Headlam already basically debunked the theory that people thought that they were on Occ 2. They're not on Occ 2, but it is possible where they may be at the moment. You know,
so it's not where Luke was.
No, it wasn't where Luke was.
Because they even took little creatures that look like miniature versions of the Jones that he was drinking milk from. So
yeah,
it didn't look like it was that, but it looked like it was a sister island or something. I thought they were trying to at least like tease it.
Yeah, bro. And that's what I thought. At first, I thought that's what it was. But that, again, we don't necessarily know. Well, she said it wasn't that planet. So she already debunked that.
Okay.
But here's the thing is, because, and if anybody actually knows, especially if you know about the book of Plagueis. So the story of Plagueis, if you read the book between him and Darth Tenebrous, they did actually visit a planet, and that's basically where they mined the mineral that housed the helmet that he basically had, and that was Baldemic. Baldemnik. That's the way it's pronounced, Baldemnik. So that is a planet. Now here's the thing, because it's hard to say if that's the planet that he's actually on. And the reason why I say that was because either one of them, neither Plagueis or Tenebrous could actually, they couldn't actually just walk that planet without an actual containment suit because it was contaminated. They couldn't even breathe on the planet. On top of that, it was really hot, high in humidity. It was kind of hard to really survive there. So he's just on the planet, just walking around like it's nothing. You know what I mean? And there's nothing.
So it couldn't have been there.
Exactly. So again, now mind you, it could just be a part of the planet that doesn't, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's hard to say, but they did debunk the simple fact that it was not, the planet that we thought it was, or a lot of people thought it would be, which was, Occ 2. So it, definitely is going to be interesting to see.
Because we're supposed to believe that Anakin and Obi-Wan were able to fight on Mustafar despite the volcanic fumes because of Jedi, and were able to give themselves a kind of a force shield from the fumes. So you would think that Plagueis would be able to walk any planet with uninhabitable conditions, at least momentarily.
Yeah. So I mean, it could, and that's what I'm saying, bro. And that's why I think, because what they used was unknown planet, and I think that they didn't want to give it too much of it away. But even saying unknown planet to me feels like it could be Baldemnik. Okay. I think it feels, because that's the only place where you could basically mine Krotosis, and we did basically see Krotosis' vein. We saw his helmet. That was the only place where they can actually get it that we know of. And we know that basically, of course, in the book, Plagueis, actually set up Tenebrous, basically killed him. Actually, just allowed like a cave to have impaled him. in which we know, through that, it was a lot that was going on with it, because even like, just practices that Tenebrith, Tenebrous had, as far as, having his essence stored in like a modified version of midi-chlorians
Right.
that actually inhabited Plagueis, in which he was going to use possibly as a version or a way to reincarnate himself. But he was upset because he actually saw in the future, and the future was that Plagueis was going to pass away, which again would leave him with no way to come back. You know what I mean? There was a legacy, and it was a story of the chosen one. Plagueis wasn't the chosen one. Tenebrith wasn't the actual chosen one. So it was a lot going on there, and I'm wondering where they're going to actually go with this, how this is going to tie in, and what Leslie Headlam is doing. And who knows? Like this, we talk about it, and people are like, "Well, it's taken away from canon or legends and stuff." Well, it may not. You know what I mean? There's a lot that's definitely going on here that could inspire something completely different. We don't know. Now, the only thing that would make me mad, though, Vinny, not really make me mad, but I would be disappointed if they try to make Chimera Plagueis, bro.
I doubt they'll do that.
I hope they don't, bro.
I like him being his own thing.
Yeah,
and if anything, teasing the Ren shit, but not the Plagueis stuff. Because I feel like that would lead to a more cerebral villain than Chimera, who's clearly a more like physically imposing villain. And I love that they touched on a cortosis, because one of the knocks on it making a helmet out of it is like, it's even more rare than Beskar. Like, how did he get enough to make a whole gauntlet and helmet out of it? And it's like, okay, well, he's in a fucking cave of it, so there's plenty of it there, or at least enough of it there for him to make what he needed out of it. So that was cool. It was definitely very cool to see his approach with Osha, because it wasn't, it was like Stockholm. It was mindfuck. It was like, you think I got the room. He had a mountain. He was just like, all right, please, I ain't holding you. What you want to do?
Yeah, bro.
Basically, just let it be her decision, and then let her come around, which is obviously something they teased from early on, that there's stuff going on with Osha too. So maybe Osha's susceptible to being turned. It's very I don't know. It's very odd that they're both, well, not odd, but it makes sense in that they're both sisters are wishy-washy like that. I mean, just as easily as May was able to turn good, Osha might be able to turn bad. Both of them got some issues that they obviously are make them susceptible to being persuaded to switch sides. So
let me ask you something, bro. And here's the thing, and when knowing about Leslie Headlam and what she said, she took inspiration from certain shows. Like, she took inspiration from shows, books, can't like movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she took inspiration from also from Knights of the Old Republic, inspiration we know from Fight Club, inspiration that she said she also took from the prequels. Now, when I think about that, and when she says something like this, bro, the one thing that I thought about was, what if they, because we know that one of the biggest fears that we learned from Indara was that she was the one who signed off on, or was the one that was pushing to have Osha stripped from, from the Jedi Order. Because of the simple fact that she carried her emotions on her sleeves, things, anger, hurt, frustration, fear, things that she tapped into that, again, would make her a dangerous individual. This is what I wanted to ask you, bro, and I want your thoughts on this, because I was thinking about this. Like, what if, and anybody who knows and who's, played Knights of the Old Republic, if you even read some of the novels about Revan, and what the Jedi did to him, what they did to him completely wiped his mind, and they used him as an individual to get, again, they knew what they were doing with this particular character, stripped him of his identity until he actually found out who he really, really was. Do you think that May might have been someone who drifted way too close to the dark side and was brainwashed in the end, or changed in the end, or might have actually been stripping of her, or she doesn't know who she was, so it's like a mind wipe, that she doesn't know who she really was, and you think that it's a possibility that Master Soul was a part of that?
I don't know, because they went out of their way to show that she had a mean streak even as a child. With know, I'm gonna go join it, be a Jedi. Well, then I'm gonna kill you. Like, that was an odd, aggressive reaction for for her to have. I think that was supposed to kind of heavy handedly set up that she was susceptible to emotion and the dark side. So I don't know. I don't know that it's necessarily that Soul is kind of corrupted her, but we did see a lot of emotion from Soul
Yeah,
for what is supposed to be. I don't know. It's very contradictory what we know of the Jedi and how they act, and it has been for most of all movies and canon. Like, it's played up a lot that Anakin is, too emotional and has too much fear and too much anger and too much passion and too much love, and all these emotions are things that led him to the dark side. But virtually, the majority of the Jedi that we've seen in the films in general have had moments of emotion that were strong. That, like, we've seen Obi-Wan upset. We've seen,
yeah,
you know what I mean. We've seen Saul in this episode, like, very upset. I mean, and it's kind of like, well, how are they supposed to act to not put themselves in a path? It's part of what is so compelling about their rules, because
yeah,
as we know, like, the parallels with actual religions and actual mental health, that burying of emotions, burying, usually doesn't end well. And
yeah,
usually the stricter you are in having to control and bury and have no outlet for any emotions, happy or anger, usually leads to some pretty shitty things. So to say, like, having any emotions is what is going to lead to bad things happening, has always been an interesting dynamic that we've seen blow up in their faces, which we are probably likely to see with Saul. I love the little teases along the way with Saul too, that why canon discussion during the show has also been like, oh, what happened to, haven't been around for 1,000 years, but all the pieces are there to show that no one ever finds out about this shit, because Saul's didn't get a chance to transmit the data. Then when he did get a chance, he didn't say shit. I mean,
yeah,
everybody in this show might either die or turn bad, so it's pretty obvious why we might not
yeah,
see any. But
yeah.
we still got a couple more episodes left to find out exactly why this isn't something that the Jedi already know about during the prequels.
Yeah, that's true. Clinton, it shorts out. Okay, so it doesn't actually. So it's not something that actually shorts out electric. It's a device used against kyber crystals and the power of a saber itself. It shorts out just the emitter. So it's something that can still be used. Like, you can still use it to spark, but it's used to short out the actual emitter itself. Um, but I again, it was something that I thought that was there too. It's like, yeah, what's going on? But okay, I realized, even reading about it, what it's used for. It's a very brittle metal, so it's not something as powerful as people think, but it's a device used against sabers. So that makes a lot of sense. Wolf Mauler, very inspiring. Just wanted to have the freedom to manipulate the force for your own evil, selfish purpose, to murder when you feel like, and abandon yourself to your negative emotions. It's crazy, because again, like, the way we're seeing this, and I wanted to bring this up as well too, bro. Like, the title of the show was Teach corrupt, right?
Yeah.
So as we're judging it, and if you read it that way, you would think that it was Chimera that's corrupting
May.
Osha.
No, OSHA. Yeah, yeah.
But
It could be other way. It could be Saul corrupting
exactly,
May.
right? It
Yeah.
could definitely be Soul corrupting May. Or we can find out when he has that conversation with May that he's corrupting. You know what I mean? He did corrupt Osha. And
Right.
maybe that May knew this. Like she knew that he was part of that level of corruption. I don't know. It's because we do see that even though yeah, go ahead.
I also took it to mean that it could be one and the same, maybe in both instances.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I mean, when you teach, you know, you also corrupt. You know,
True.
it's just you're pouring all your shit into someone else. So you know, and that's good or bad. Like every teacher's student picks up, you know, and has to learn from flaws as well as, you know, strengths. So it could be in both instances that they're, you know, pouring into them. But yeah,
it definitely. My man CT here. Damn, Clinton digging that thumbnail. Nice posing. Ayo, CT. CT, bruh. You were absolutely effing right about that 501st repaint. It is literally hands down my favorite trooper in my collection. That clone trooper is fucking beautiful, bro. The paint, everything. I'm so glad I got to. CT, you were absolutely right. It is such a beautiful figure, bro. It is an amazing fucking figure, bro. Love it. But yeah, bro, like it's interesting.
Wolf also made a good point about how interesting Chimera's character is, because it's not. I mean, he's calling himself a Sith, but and he wants the rule of two, but past that, it doesn't really seem like he has a you know, like a mission. Like he doesn't seem to have any motives other than let me do whatever the fuck I want. It's it seems very much like you know, like if you had superpowers and they forced you to fight crime, it's like, nah, I want to do whatever I want to do. Like, what if I want to go, you know, just hang out? Like, I have to do this with my power, or else I'm in trouble. Like, because that now is also very reminiscent of like stuff that we see with like Registration Act or like the power storyline. It's like you have power, you have to use them the way the government or the Jedi Council sees fit, not you know, and you don't get to decide who you help. You don't get to decide like Qui-Gon going to Tatooine, and like he didn't get to decide to help the slaves. He has to just do what the fuck he's told. So I definitely like that dynamic that, you know, there's a gray area there as far as, you know, not necessarily every Sith is a Palpatine that wants to take over the world. Maybe there's Sith that just want to fucking do their own thing.
Yeah. And we know that there were Sith. There were Sith out there who weren't really conspiring to kill. There were Sith out there that weren't really inspiring to go out here and be, or those, and not even Sith, bro, like just dark side users, like individuals who basically learned and studied the dark side as well as the light. They wanted to embrace the value of both. It's just that and again, like I said, what we learned about Star Wars mainly is, you know, we're working with a very corrupt government, a corrupt system, and also an institutionalized Jedi order.
They take children.
They take children, bro.
They take children and indoctrinate them to be soldiers.
Yeah, bro. And
it's exactly what the Empire. It's almost like the Empire learned from that with stormtroopers.
Yeah, and that's crazy because, you know, seeing this, okay, because we know what we've actually learned about, even, you know, when we're talking about Ahsoka, we know what we know about her in the Clone Wars, but it wasn't painted, you know, we're looking at it from, you know, just animated. At first, we looked at it from an animated point of view, but getting a chance to basically see in live action how young she was, bro, and then getting a chance to basically see, you know, how young, what is her name? What is her name? Everybody out. Jackie. Basically seeing how young she was you know, and you know, as in the order itself, they were teaching kids, bro, teaching kids, you know, to not only be warriors, but you know, to again, you know, be part of an actual order, you know, very institutionalized, and thrusting them into battle at such a young age. It's like, how can you teach? And that's the thing, is like, when you think about it, it's like teaching peace, but you're also showing these kids violence at a very young age, but telling them, because that's what was, I think that even from Anakin's point of view, is like, it's very contradictory. You're telling us not to be warriors, but yes, you're thrusting that in. You're saying that basically a Jedi doesn't draw his saber, you know, for whatever, but yet you're thrusting us into situations where we have to do this. Yeah. We're forced to protect
until it suits you.
Yeah, until it suits your narrative. Yeah. You know what I mean? So again, like, I think that was even George Lucas's point, because again, it's probably like a lot of people didn't really like or really connect well with the prequels, because you never want to, you know, again, an organization. It's just like, you know, when growing up as a kid, you know, you always saw the police as the good guys. You saw the police as the ones that you can call when something is needed. You depended on that. But then we basically learned that in some places it's a very corrupt system. We learned how things are right now, and that again, not everything is what it seems to be. That's the same for the Jedi Order. What we knew about the Jedi growing up was like, they were always keepers of the peace, always the ones that you gravitated to and you love to see it. But now basically going into the prequels and what we're going, you're seeing that it was a very corrupt system, you know, for them itself. You know, they have been infiltrated. You know, they turned a blind eye on everything. And like you said, sometimes they applied themselves to a narrative that suits them. You know what I mean? So that's what I love about this, because we're seeing it from a totally different side. I know a lot of people are like, you know what, I don't want to see the Jedi that way. But sometimes it's certain things you have to see that you don't want to see, to take you out of your comfort zone, bro. Right. And I love that. What we got here? Danu Wavely, Clone Wars, they straight up develop or deploy knights and Padawans. Yep. I think Jedi during this decade avoided most conflicts. We got my man Charlie the Unicorn commentary about child warriors, analog to real war. Yeah, bro. CT, Lord Ren was rejected by the Jedi and Sith, which drove him to create Knights of Ren. That's definitely a fact. Commander Green, plus Chimera said the Jedi might call him Sith, but he never says that he exactly what. Yeah, he never said that. Right. You know, that's who he was. Speaking of Chimera, we know that basically he said that he was cast out and thrown out by somebody, or basically by the Jedi Order. You know, we also saw the scars on his back. And when, you know, Oshib asked him about it, you know, he said it was from someone from, you know, who threw him away. Now, she assumed automatically that it was the Jedi, but he never really said that that's what it was. Right. But we were quick to assume. But the funny part about that is when they did say that, immediately it cut over to Vanessa Rowe. You know what I mean? And on top of that, like, she's acting really suspicious, bro. Like, there's something about her, and I'm not trying to say. And the thing is, here's the thing: people would
know what Jedi or Sith was, and you just watched this completely raw, you would think she was a villain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You would think that there was something wrong, something that she's high. And the thing is, if the High Republic books, if you've read them, you know, she was the youngest to be abducted into, like, as a Jedi Knight, to become a Jedi Knight. And her story basically going on along the way, you know, that she was someone who stood for what was good. And to see her here at a much older age, but seemingly there's a lot of conflict and a lot of secretive stuff that's going on with her that would make it seem like, yo, something ain't quite right, bro. Like, something, I don't know what's going on, but she's hiding something, and something that she's not telling. And on top of that, she doesn't want the Jedi Order, the Jedi High Council, to know. So, yeah.
How do you feel about the whip?
Okay, so we're gonna get there, and that's what I was gonna get to, because myself, bro, I love this shit. Yeah. I love it, because here's the thing, and again, we know that in the books, the Jedi basically frowned against any Force user who actually used that whip because, again, it was more of a Sith weapon. But Vanessa Rowe used it because she felt as though it was something that could suit the Jedi Order, but she never told them that she modified her saber this way. She just did it on her own. You know what I mean? So I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was dope as fuck. You know what I mean? I definitely don't, because again, it's not just for her. She can modify it. It's not just the whip itself. It can also be used as a saber. We just know that she has a modified emitter that changes it from a saber to a whip. Okay. I definitely didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was dope as fuck. I couldn't wait to actually see it. What did you think about it, bro?
I'm trying to keep an open mind. Sometimes it's tough for me when you have, and I could be wrong because I believe I heard it was used somewhere else in some other book or something. But it's tough when you have a prequel doing new shit sometimes. You know what I mean? Because, like, no, all right, so no one else ever thought to modify their sabers in creative ways before. I mean, you know, in any of the prequels or OG or sequels, and then here's like a new idea that was 100 years ago that was just never used again. It's just odd to me. And the way I understand how lightsabers work, I don't know how this would be physically possible. But of course, we're talking about, you know, a world where you can move things with your mind. So there's always a suspension of disbelief I try to hold on to. It's just taking some getting used to. So I'm interested. I'm not like against it, but I don't just like I have questions and issues with it. But it's at face value, of course, cool seeing a lightsaber whip. But it's just it brings more. The questions and confusion with it just kind of like outweighs the cool factor of it a little bit. But again, it is cool. It's just it kind of makes me wonder, like, all right, well, how come? What else can you do with it? How come no one else ever did it? You know, that type of thing. And like, how, based on what we know of how lightsabers work, how would that even be, you know, physically? What the physics of it don't quite make sense. But you know, it's still obviously very interesting. So, you know, we'll see where it goes from there. I like the I don't know. It kind of, like you said, it seems rebellious a bit, right? It's like you know, the Jedi are kind of, you do this and then you do this and then you do this and you're cool. But if you step outside that line, we got a problem. This is some outside that line type shit. So I think it does add more to the intrigue that there's something up with it.
Yeah, I the thing is, because, and bro, it's crazy. Like when they announced that Vanessa Rowe was going to be in this, and then the pushback on a lot of people when, you know, a lot of people knew that, you know, Vanessa Rowe was going to have like a lightsaber whip.
Yeah,
I was like, well, you know, Disney is changing, you know, whatever. Of course, they're going to Disney-fy it and stuff like that. Nah, I'm sorry. Get the facts right, because even before Disney acquired the IP, lightsaber whips were in existence. You know, it was definitely there. It was in Legends. It's always been something that's actually there. It may not have been something that notably was used completely by the Jedi. It was more of a Sith weapon, but lightsaber whips have been there. It's not the first time we've actually seen that. So everybody who was pushing against it, you were reaching a bit, and maybe you just didn't go back, do your research. I think it's dope. I can't wait to see how it's utilized. I'm hoping that we see a sort of like a confrontation between her and Chimera. I'm really hoping that we actually see that. But I'm definitely with Louis Lebitz when he said, I think honestly, bro, in my opinion, now, mind you, we know that Leslie Headlam said that the way this is going to end almost sets it up like it could be a season 2. But she said it's also going to have a satisfying ending, you know, to whereas you can think that it was completed as season 1. But she also said that we're not going to get a completed story about Chimera in this season. So there's more that we need to know, but we're not going to learn everything that we need to know about this character in this season, which makes me wonder.
I think one of the issues that is a negative for the show for me is the show seems like it's supposed to be about May and Osha, But like, I think a lot of people are, like I just more so care about Kamir and Saul,
Yeah.
and now her. Like, I, they haven't really done much of anything to show May or Osha having a chance against any of them. So like they haven't even really shown them use a weapon like other
Yeah.
than knives. So it's like if we're gonna have some finale with May or Osha doing any kind of fight, it's just like how do they even have a chance against any of the other characters that we've seen so far? It just seems like they're an afterthought in their own show in a way. Like I just want to see Kamir and Saul fight again, but like
Yeah.
if we see May and Osha, May fight Saul or May fight Kamir or vice versa, like any combination of that, it just doesn't seem like there's even a point.
I
So
think I think that we're going to actually see a fight between Osha and Soul. I
okay,
think we're leading up to that because, and the reason why I say that, bro, is because again, I love one of the biggest things that I loved about this episode, bro, is Chimera explaining that Katorsa's helmet, the way it's utilized, it's almost sensory deprivation. Like they use the actual helmets when they
that's
were training.
that's one of my favorite parts of the episode because when I first seen that helmet, I was like, how the fuck does he see out of that thing?
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
then I thought, but I looked at it as one of those same thing with whip or other things like
yeah,
suspension disbelief. Like
yeah,
you're not supposed to think about it, just supposed to look cool. But it's like the fucking blaster helmet. Like look at Luke,
yeah,
and he was more powerful when he just stopped trusting the senses and just trusted the force. So here, that helmet is basically like you're just completely in tune with the force. And then look at how he fought. It was
yeah.
like he was on autopilot. He was
Yep,
in the fucking zone.
yep. Same thing with Kane and Jarrus when he went blind. He wore that
Exactly.
actual helmet. You know, he put on
Exactly.
that Jedi Temple Guard helmet and went ballistic. He went crazy, and when he started, he calmed himself.
Yep.
He was in the zone. So I
Exactly. We
love
went
that.
full on just force as
Yes,
opposed to
yes,
mixing our senses with the force.
yes, exactly, bro. And just think about, for instance, we got a chance to also see that in Rogue One. You know what I mean? Blindness, a character is more so in tune because you're not depending on your senses. You're more so adjusting and just letting the force take over.
Right.
And at the end of this episode, seeing Osha put the helmet on and like hearing her first,
And you had to breathe in.
it sounded like she was hyperventilating, but then
Yeah.
at the same time, we saw that slow rumble and she started
Yeah.
really taking it in and getting herself in tune with the force. I think at that moment is when the switch took place.
Yeah.
At that moment is when we seen it and she started realizing a lot more. It probably unlocked a lot of things that were hidden, and he did that purposely so she can reconnect not only with the force but know truly what really happened and what went on. You know what I mean? Because he definitely knows. Now, again, when she asked him, you were once a Jedi I never heard of you before. He said it was a long time ago. So we definitely don't know how old he is, but we also know that a character like Tenebrous and Plagueis age sort of like backwards in a sense. Not saying that they're going down that route, but they could definitely do that. And also we know that Sith do disguise themselves. So I'm not, again, there's so, and we're not, and he didn't necessarily, and I'm just putting this out there because he never said he was directly a Sith. He's just saying, that's what they would call him based on the practices.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that, my point is like to get to the, he got, Osha where he wanted her. He already seduced her. I mean, the dude came out the water butt ass naked. I know she was like, yo, but you know what I mean? She, again, he seduced her in a way that, number one, he's giving her what she needed, was that level of freedom to say, look, it's okay to be fractured. So he's, in a sense, the teacher, and as we said before, also a level of corrupt.
Yeah.
But I think, like you said, Vinny, it works on both sides.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
working definitely on both sides. Like,
Yeah. That was crazy though, because he was like, Nah, I'm gonna go take a dip. I'm gonna leave the saber right here because if you really try to kill me, I could stop you with just the force anyway.
Yeah. Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
Come here to, yeah, Ren's, yeah, introduce her to the dark side. Definitely
She was
did.
seduced by the power of the force, all right, but it wasn't force.
I thought for sure we were gonna get Manny cheeks. Bro, I definitely it was such literally
Look, we said it was Ezra Miller, right? That was the Flash.
Yeah,
That was
yeah, bro.
He
Yeah.
gave her the Flash.
Yeah, he definitely did, bro. That was the Flash. But it's again, bro, like I'm trying to like there's different and also I wanted to bring something up here too, bro. I wanted to talk about this because there is another actor who we haven't seen yet in this show. There's another actor that we haven't seen that they said will make an appearance in this show, and that is David Hayward. Now you know who he is, right? You know who this person is. He was actually in Supergirl. He played Martian the Manhunter. He was also in that film with the Diamond. I forget what it's called, with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Blood Diamond.
Blood Diamond. So he was also in that as well. But he is supposed to be a character in the show. We only got 2 episodes left, and he's supposed to be an important character, or a character in. So again, could he be the Sith master that we're going to know, or is it going to be someone different? So do you think possibly he could just be like another character, part of like the council or part of the Senate? Or do you think they're because the thing is, I don't want them to bring this motherfucker in, bro, and just give him. I hate when they bring actors in, tenured actors in, who are great, and you give them these small ass disposable roles, bro. I hate that. Well, what you think, bro?
Yeah, he said, if they bring him in, give him something to do. Not no bullshit like Carrie Ann Moss, because that was a dope fight. But man, she should have been a character on the show, like much more. So much more to do than that. So
yeah. They definitely got to give him more, bro. Charlie the Unicorn said, Darth Tenebrous. Could it be? It could be, but if it's hard to say, because it's hard to say if it would be Plagueis or Tenebrous, because if they are on that mining planet, then that means possibly around this time. It could be. I'm not saying it could. It is. But we know that Tenebrous would be dead right now he could be dead, and the only person that would leave, or we would think it would leave, would be Plagueis, or it could be Tenebrous. We don't know. If they choose not to give us a Plagueis, and if they don't want to actually just bring him in this way, it could be Tenebrous. I don't know. But I just hope that they don't just, and it could be one of those characters. We might find out who he is at the very end, like the last episode, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he might be a teaser for season 2 or whatnot, but I have no idea. Like, it's hard to guess what's going on with the characters that are in the show, let alone who somebody who hasn't appeared yet might be. I don't even know for sure. Like, they might not even use Plagueis or Tenebrous at all. Like,
so, and you know what? You bring up an interesting point. Would you be upset if they didn't?
I have no, I know you're expecting to listen to you talk. I know you're hoping for it. I do not.
I'm not. Here's the thing, though.
I'm not to go the Plagueis route at all.
Here's the thing, bro. I am so susceptible to being something completely different. I'm more accepting to be something completely different. But I know if it's not, it's going to be a shitstorm, bro. Like, motherfuckers are going to complain about that shit. I'm like, but wait a minute. They're doing something completely different, and I'm on board with that. If you give us something completely different, if you don't, because here's the thing, bro. Okay, so this is where the shit gets kind of convoluted, and this is crazy, because There are people who don't want to see Tenebris or Plagueis in this show because they don't like the show, so they don't want to see the characters in here because they feel as though they won't do them justice, right?
Right.
There are people that don't like the show that still want to see these motherfuckers in here because they're like, no, we got it has to be. But then there are people like, yo, no, we want something completely different, and I'm fine with that. So either way, if they do it, okay, cool. If they don't, I'm still cool with that, bro. I'm okay, and I'm welcoming something that's completely different, but not everybody sees it that way. You know what I mean?
I think it's tough because it's like there's a lot going on. There's a lot that has to do with the characters who are already on the show that hasn't been explained. To go to such a grandiose story as the Plagueis story, it's a tough call because obviously that's a huge, canon, a huge legend story that what made canon and that has been fleshed out in the books that people would love to see touched on, and it would add more credence, I guess, to the show for people who haven't really been sold on it. But you're right; it would be muddied by the people who have been shitting on it, and it would like lump that in with it as opposed to having it be something separate. And I'm not sure it needs to. I'm not sure it needs the Plagueis stuff to be, to be what it is trying to be. You know what I mean? I feel like it seems so far like it's such a standalone piece of work that would be almost like a reach to try to tie it in with the other stuff. And in a lot of ways, it feels to me that like there's a lot of ties into sequel shit, even more so than prequel shit. So I don't know. I feel like if they do it, cool. But I really haven't watched any of this thinking, okay, they got it. They must be going the Plagueis route. Like that hasn't seemed apparent to me. Like if they do, I'm not saying it's necessarily going to be forced, but I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that if they don't, this isn't like teasing Mephisto in WandaVision and then not doing it. This, you know what I mean? Like this wouldn't be that type of, bait and switch.
Yeah. I again, bro, like I'm just in the mind that as long as whatever story you're telling serves the story. And I don't, and I said this, bro, like, and I got a lot of flack for it, a lot of heat for it, and I really don't care because I'm used to it anyway. It doesn't really matter. But I have loved this story since the very beginning because, again, it does spark the conversations that we're having right now of who done it, who's on what side. No one, you can't trust a single person. I mean, we heard the Yord Horde. A lot of people were like, yo, he could be a Sith. Jecki could be a Sith. Now we're talking about, the possibility of, Vanessa Rowe possibly being a hidden Sith. We know that Leslie Headlam said that there's going to be an element of someone who infiltrated the Jedi Order. There is infiltration there. So you never know where this is going to definitely end up. But I love the aspect that we're having these conversations about who done it. And I think that's what people are missing is she's giving us, it is basically a crime thriller, bro. It's a crime thriller. It's a lot of, almost seems like a lot of espionage, but a lot of lies being told and like Clue, you're trying to piece everything together to figure out who's done what, because everybody at this particular point has had like some very suspicious characteristics. You know what I mean? Like you just don't know.
That's what I've liked about the show so far is it hasn't leaned on any of shit we already know.
Like traditional tropes. Yeah.
Like everybody, I mean, all the major players, I mean, except for Key Monday, whatever his name is, like that's it. They haven't leaned on throwing Yoda in there just so that people like they haven't leaned on throwing other characters in there that they could have from the legends. Like they haven't done all that shit. I'm with CT here. Like this could be about Khmer and focus on him, and then whatever's going to happen with May and Osha, and I'm fine with that because that could set up a spinoff for other shit that happened in a whole nother timeline than we're used to. So I'd be with it.
Yeah, I definitely. What's going on, Cornelius? Thank you for being here, my brother. Let me
Shit,
see here. CT
Lance
said,
is right. It's Basil.
yeah, he said it could be Basil, Ren Salentino. We got C2 who said this doesn't have to be any of that. It could just be Kymir's own story arc, and I'm fine with that. Me too, bro.
Yep.
Me too, bro. I'm right there with you, bro. Beskar says same layout. I've been hooked on it from the start. Definitely, bro. I've been hooked. I've been hooked. I've loved it from the very start. If they're going to tie them in, better be longer than these 30-minute episodes. And that's the thing. Like, you know what? You're right. The 30-minute episode, it hurts, but I think it's one of those things where, as much as we complain about it too, it's something that we got to get used to because they're not going to change that shit. It's just they're not going to change it. This is where they're actually going with it, and it is what it is at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like we've seen that, they've done it. They've been successful with it, like as we've seen with the Mandalorian, and what we've seen with Ahsoka. They've been successful with it. There's some shows where we're like, I just want more. I want more. I want more. But going into this, I know there's a story that has to be told. And you know what, Vinny, I was even thinking about this too, bro. I can't wait till it's finished to go back and watch it the whole way through.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wish there was even a way that when we watch it, like once it's released, that we can watch it without cuts in between. It could just go the whole way through. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I feel like we also need to talk about how trash Basil is because Ren's brought him up, and it just reminded me how much he's worthless because the motherfucker, they made a point. They spent like 2 minutes making a point to show you that he knew that wasn't fucking Osha, and then he's just like, oh well, ain't my problem. Yo, he just went back to like doing whatever he was doing. He didn't say, "Hey, so I gotta tell you something." Yo, the homegirl, yo, he didn't say shit. Yo, she could have been there to sabotage the ship, to kill Soul, to sleep, or anything. And Basil was just like, ain't my circus, ain't my monkey. It's like, yo, what are you doing?
Just walk. But you know what, bro? Like. You know what? Their success at making a cute ass character, bro. I gotta honestly say, it's a cute ass character. I ain't gonna fuck the front. It's a definitely cute ass character, but I mean, the way they're playing it, like it almost made it seem like there was a level of importance for the character. But what is it? Because all we seeing him do is run around.
He hasn't helped at all. At all. Like, even when he was trying to find May in the first place, like, she found them.
Yeah.
He didn't do shit. He literally hasn't done anything at all.
Yeah. Like, what is it? Because the plan failed. You put the droid there, you stomped on the foot, then you step back. Nothing. I don't know. Here's the thing. Like, maybe... I don't know what the hell it is. Again, he's a tracker, but we know the species is a lot smarter than what they're presenting here on the show. You know what I mean? Because it's beyond just them being trackers. The species is a lot more intelligent, but I don't know where they're going with it, man, and what they're doing with this. Basil cut the power on the ship. Yeah, he definitely could have. In my opinion, all the episodes should be dropped at once. I feel the way they are broken up, you lose the flow. That way, people aren't passing judgment. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, but we know it has to be week to week. We know that they'll definitely do something like that. This is how they do it, bro. Unfortunately, and that's why I can't wait to watch it all in one. Yoda's the only one that could understand his language. Definitely could. Basil Hot Toys, 1/6 scale man, clicking that button. Who else we got? What is this? Punxsutawney Phil. I mean, listen, getting blasted in the face with oil. Wow. I mean, yeah, bro. On Kafar, Basil was looking for Kilnaka, not May. That was true. Because he did give basically Basil a piece of cloth that was Kilnaka.
Yeah,
so
good
it was basically
I still hate that damn thing. So
you said you hate it. Ezra and Basil probably would get along, possibly. But yeah, and that's the thing, like, because his scent change during, because he what is it?
I don't know why he needed a scent. Like, what, didn't he live there? Didn't they know where he lived? Like, he was just at home.
Yeah, but I guess they needed to find out where he lived because there were uncharted parts of that planet where people didn't go.
Okay.
So that's where they needed to find it, because remember, like, civilization is on that planet, but they never trekked deep into that forest because of what was there, deadly things. So that's why they needed him as a tracker to find, where it was. That was some horseshit when they quickly suggested it.
Bro.
It may have been Soul who cut them all down. Green Lady was like, yeah, that's it. That's the ticket. Yeah. Here's the thing.
He
Like,
was real quick to be like, you know what? Bingo. Like, hold up, wait, what?
yeah, it's
Why did they? Why? I have to say this one first. Actually, get on.
well, see, that's the
Is
thing.
it just me, or like, did they
What?
replace Yord or Yord, whatever, with another Yord? Isn't that like the same? It's the same type. Never mind. I'll say that. I'll keep that thought to myself.
It's I think again, all it's going to play out in a second. I think, and again, she knows that it wasn't so.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that she's even hiding away from them, because again, there's certain things that she can't tell to anyone because and afraid it might leak to the council. And also knowing how in tune, Vedestra is with the Force, she has precognition as well, so she may know certain things about individuals. I just don't know how they're approaching. Again, it's we got 2 episodes to see where this is going, bro. We got 2 episodes to definitely see the balloons. You know what? The balloons come at the most inopportune time, man. You fucking balloons, man. But we got 2 episodes to basically see where it's gonna go. But
Yo, what was
again,
I keep forgetting her name too, but who was Daphne Keene's character? What was her name?
Jackie?
Bro, why would they go out of the way to show her whole torso up close with no wounds? Like, she got
Was it?
triple stabs and there was no damage on the front.
They didn't show any?
No.
Hold on, let me go back and look, bro. I wanna
Unless
see.
the folds of the clothes covered it, but it stayed on her for like a good couple seconds. And I was like, wait, she was stabbed through the front. I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive there was no damage on the front. It was like,
Let's see here.
I didn't even see holes in the robes or nothing.
Let's see here, bro. Because I want to
Probably
see,
who? Everybody did.
like, where I want to see, bro. Because
She should have that. Yeah, she should have that. That try shot, that triple jab.
I didn't.
Yes, Rand's healing robes. It's it's yet another new ability.
Unless
Did you revenge? I didn't. Maybe I just didn't catch it. It really looked like there wasn't any damage.
because I'm trying to see, because they showed her laying down. I'm trying to see if there's a picture
Like they
here.
spent a second on her, and I looked to see, and I just didn't. Maybe I just didn't catch it.
Yeah, I'm trying to actually catch it because I can't see it.
All right.
I mean, I didn't pay attention to it. I'm gonna go back and watch it, probably tonight.
I mean, it might be there, but when I only watched it once, and I didn't rewind to double check, but I just didn't see it out of, at first glance.
Unless it was angled a certain way, and it was just.
They did do a lot of cool Lucas fade shots where they like blend this, cut away with a fade blend that I like. That's super Star Warsy. So
Mr. Revenge said, I saw burn marks on Jackie's front. Okay, so it was definitely there. It was probably just like kind of out of focus. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch it. I'm gonna definitely go back and watch it. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely go back and watch that, man. Because again, but the gruesome part was that they showed both of them, her and your eyes wide open, bro.
Yeah,
like they made it a point, and that was daring, and I'm so fucking glad they did that. That was dope. That was that from that vantage point. That was super dope. They didn't show the other 2 Jedi behind the tree, but you got a perception that you knew that their heads were cut completely off. They just didn't show it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But that was dope. I don't know, man. I just think that again, there's a lot that's actually going on. I'm just interesting. It's interesting. I'm interested in more so knowing with Vanestra, but like, what is it? You know, both her and Chimere are the two interesting individuals right now for me, because even though I do want to, and here's the one thing that I am pissed off too, bro, not to kind of like cut that off sidebar. I hate that every time, and they keep doing this, and I know it just makes for the intensity. Every time fucking Soul wants to tell her what happened, they cut or he gets stunned. The fuck, man? I'm tired of that, bro.
Yeah. It's like Three's Company, when like he could tell Mr. Foley what happened to clear up the misunderstanding real easily, but just something it happens.
Something interjects, and they
I feel
never.
like that's. I mean, obviously, that's. I imagine that's intentional to explain how this whatever happens here, like never gets out, and it's just all covered up. Either he doesn't get to tell them, um, or the ones who find out cover it up. But I think that's supposed to be part of the point. So it just either doesn't want to tell them what's up, or because it started off with, all right, we ain't gonna tell nobody what we're here for, so let's hurry up and get out. And then it goes to technical malfunctions, and then now, like, he could have told them. Then at the end he just decides to just dip. Something's up. It's weird.
You know what, Mr. Revenge, you might be right. He says, yeah, Vanestra is Chimere's ex-Jedi Master when he was a Padawan, and I suspect he is the same age as Soul, and they were Padawans at the temple together. That could possibly be it, bro. You never know.
Is that her name?
Who?
Vanessa? Is that who
Vanessa
that is?
Roll, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Vanessa Roll. That's definitely her name, bro.
Okay.
If that's the tie-in, it could be, but I'm just, if she was that brutal against her Padawan, bro, I'd have fucking left too, because you're basically teaching them, like, what is it? I don't know, bro. Or unless what we know, again, we don't, maybe okay, maybe she wasn't as brutal. Maybe there was a confrontation once he leaned more towards the dark side, and that's why this all happened, is him basically leaving and all that. It could be, I don't know, but if she was brutal to him as a Padawan, bro,
I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
That scar's on the back, not the front.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. I'm right there. Yo, Beskar, if they only literally, and I said this, and I'm just saying, if they just gave us Vanessa Roll and Chimere, I would be happy with that. Now, I know I would basically I want an Indara, I want a Vanessa Roll, I want a Chimere, I want a Jackie. You know what I mean? I would take basically an Osha and May. I would definitely want characters, but if they only gave us two, if they decided to only give us Vanessa Roll based on her, connection to the High Republic, and if they gave us Chimere based on his impact, I'd be fine with that. I'd be definitely fine with that, bro. All day, every day. The new actor to come may be May and Osha's actual father.
Ooh. I don't know. I think they went out their way to kind of. I don't know.
Oh, bro. I feel like most Jedi Masters will chop off an arm, not slice your back. Bro, you never know. He's looking at the Jedi archives and tried to sneak some forbidden knowledge. Right. Never know. Who do you think the senator is she was referring to that is starting to give the council trouble on her phone call? I don't know. Because we know that it's Sheev Palpatine at this point would be young. So, and I don't believe that he has anything to do with the Senate right now. I'm wondering. That is a good question, bro. That definitely is a good question to kind of figure out, because I'm really wondering who that could possibly be. That definitely is. Let me see here. I am your father, right? We got Beskar. Yep, same, but I want more. Definitely want more. We always want more, bro. Psalms isn't born yet. Yeah, Palps isn't born yet. Definitely, bro. The senator is supposedly connected with the Sith. Not sure where I heard that, bro. It's a lot we're gonna find out. There's a lot that we're gonna definitely find out. Mother Coral never told you what happened to your father, right? Never did. We don't know. We got Golden Arms. The senator could be Plagueis. But here's the thing, though. We know that Plagueis he wasn't tied to the Senate. Plagueis basically played the back. He never wanted to be, even though we knew, and what a lot of people didn't know is that, Plagueis was around during the Phantom Menace, was around during the Clone Wars. You know what I mean? We knew that he died. He was murdered. I mean, or not Clone Wars, Attack of the Clones. But we knew that he actually passed away in Revenge of the Sith. So I don't know. Could be. It's definitely no way do I want twins as figures. Soul definitely in his Indar ejected.
There's no way they made those twins figures.
Yeah, they won't. They again, like, as much as I would want it, they probably won't do it. So you were saying it wasn't immaculate conception, dyad, just the old-fashioned way of making children. I don't know. Here's the thing.
No, I don't think they go back on that. I think
So the senator will probably appear as the actor with the Sith form disguised. I don't know. That's something to definitely think about, because I believe, like, they're going to go out of their way. And you're right. It could be this act. It could be David. He could be the senator that gives them problems. He could be the person that shows up. Again, the one who's actually infiltrated. We don't know. It's going to be tough, man. It's tough to figure these things out, bro, because, like I said, we only got 2 episodes and we're throwing a lot in the bag to try to figure out what it is. And I have no idea, bro. Like, no idea. So we'll definitely see. I think Vinnie's, I don't know if Vinnie's gonna be back. He'll be back in a minute. I think his internet is just kind of like chiming out, but he'll be back in just a second. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. What are you guys thinking out there, man? What are you guys thinking? You think that we're going to get like a big? Let me ask you a question. Do you think we're going to get like a big reveal, more so in the end? You think that the reveal is going to come in the end? Do you think that we're going to learn? Here's the thing, bro. Next episode we have to learn about what happened. We have to learn about what happened this next episode. They got to show us. Don't bullshit us, bro. They have to show us what happened.
I don't want that in the finale. I won't.
Nah. They can't give us that shit in the finale. They got to give us that shit. This next episode, we need to know. It's a must. It's definitely a must. Let me see here. I think there will be a big reveal. I hope so, man. I definitely hope so. No, it will be like Ahsoka series. No reveal. Please, I hope not. Episode 8 Endgame. Probably. Yep, flashbacks. Definitely, we need to actually have the flashback next episode, bro. It's a must. It's a must.
Yeah,
it's
get it out of the way. I don't want that shit dragging down the finale.
Get it out of the way. Let this next episode be the episode that we actually see everything go down, and just let it be that, bro. And I'll be cool with that. Finale should at least be more than 30 minutes, 30 plus minutes.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it will be. I'm definitely hoping it will be. Yeah. That's the sad part, right? Like, what we want and what we believe it should be isn't always what it will be. And that right there, bro, is definitely the sad part about it. As sad as it will be, we just have to hope and pray that they deliver in the end. I'm really, really, really hoping that they deliver and they give us something, or they give us what we actually need or what we want. And I hope it's a satisfying ending. Again, look, and I want to stress this, man, because last week, I went through whatever I went through on Friday because, like I said, I had somebody infiltrate, somebody infiltrated the chat during one of my corner episodes. What I need people to realize is we are not here to hijack anybody's opinion of the show. That's not what we do. We give our opinions and we give people a space. We're not, if you literally do not like this show because it just doesn't sit well with you, that doesn't mean you're not a Star Wars fan. That means that this show just didn't work for you. There may be certain elements that you're just like, nah, it just doesn't do it for me. And that's completely fine. You know, the people that we really challenge are the individuals who have agendas and go against it because they're following agendas. And that's it. But if you have the freedom to come on this show and say, I didn't like it because of that, these characters didn't sit well with me, this is whack or whatever, you're fine with, and I'm cool with that. But just, you know, when it gets like really, really political, when it gets like, you know, when bigotry and hatred and racism is involved, that's the stuff that we don't basically welcome. And I just
we've made it pretty clear every time that we've discussed toxicity. It's not toxicity is not directed at people who just happen to disagree with you with constructive issues about this show. It's with their issues about the show are rooted in evil things and shitty things like bigotry. But there's plenty of people, myself included, who have different issues. You included, who have different issues with the show.
Yeah.
And that is perfectly fine. Like, there's nothing that's perfect. Everything has some issues, and there's people who don't like this show for a number of valid reasons. And that's not the people we're talking about. And I think we've made it pretty clear when we talk about people who are, damaging to the fandom, that it's not people who just don't like things for valid reasons. It's people who are, not great people, period.
Yeah. Like, there's literally people out there who can't really stand it. And we get that. You know what I mean? We get that. We completely understand it. And that's fine. And we welcome that. I like having that banter back and forth. I love that about it. And you're right. You're absolutely right. Star Wars is about history and learning from it. Agendas are what corporations like Disney have. It lost its purity when George sold Lucasfilm. There's people that feel that way. You know what I mean? And it might be legit. S-Beam, I'm not 100% enjoying this Acolyte, but I really enjoy hearing the enthusiasm and others' issues with the show. There you go, man. You already know. Manny Jacinto has been killing it. I really loved his dedication to the action sequences. Definitely some of the best lightsaber combat to date. Definitely. You already know. Beskar, I don't want this show to be over. Give me episodes of Chimera cooking food and bathing, and I'm good. Definitely, bro. Episode 7 ends with confrontation, like in Good, Bad, Ugly Mexican Standoff. You already know. Love it. Beskar Kid is funny, bro. He is definitely a crazy individual out there, man. But yeah, I just want to definitely say that because, again, we know that there are people out there that feel, certain ways about the show, but not everybody feels that way. You know what I mean? And again, all our forms of criticism is welcome. And it is what it is. I want to touch on something really quick here, though, for real. And it's just kind of moving on. We didn't get a chance to talk about this earlier in the show, but I want to talk about it now really quick. So 2026 December, it's going to be a congested ass year, bro. It's going to be a congested ass month because from what we know and what has been said, there's going to be 3 films. Now, we knew that we were getting a Star Wars film in December of 2026. But now, basically, we know we're getting both Dune and the Batman Part 2, right? In the same month. Here's the thing. From what we know, what is her name? Chanel, whatever, I think her name. I forget the director's name. We know that she is directing a Rey film, but we don't know when that's actually going to go in production. We also know that Jon Favreau is basically right now working on, and they start production on the Mando film, the Mando and Grogu film. We know that Dave Filoni's film is not going to come out anytime soon because, again, he's working on season 2 of Ahsoka. We also know that the Jedi Order, the start of the Jedi, the first Jedi Order, I forget that director's name, that's not going to be in production yet. He's still in the writing stage, earlier stages for that. So the only thing that we could think about is possibly the Rey film, if that's going to happen. The Rey film or the Mandalorian film, I don't know. But if that Rey film is slated to come out in December, we know Dune is killing it right now, bro. We know people are waiting on the Batman. Do you think that this Rey film is going to see the light of day that month, or is it going to get pushed?
Pushed. Dune also. Batman's already in production, so I think it makes that date. I don't see the other two making that date.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I hate to see it because I'd love to see the next Dune film as early as 26, but
Yeah.
I don't see it. And like Charlie said, that's both WB. They're not going to compete with themselves. And you know how films go with Star Wars. Like I don't know. They're not even starting yet. I'd say anything making 26 is already like underway, and Batman's already got set photos, so I believe that one, but not the other two.
Yeah, Charlie the Unicorn says 0 chance WB brings out Dune and Batman
See, though.
in the same month. Doom Messiah, I can't wait. I could care less for the others. Let me see here. Power 2. It's going to be interesting, bro. Don't need to see a Rey film. The other two, I'm game. I for one, and unapologetically want to see a Rey film. I will say that. And I know I get a lot of flack about that, but I definitely want to see a Rey film. I think there's a lot of potential in that character. I love Daisy Ridley as Rey. Love where the storyline could go. So it's just going to be interesting to see where that happens. The audience reaction to Doom Messiah will be interesting. Yes. That's the thing, bro. If they haven't read the books, the reaction to it is going to definitely be interesting. So we'll see. But yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know if it makes its release date. You know, it might get pushed till later. It might even get pushed till May of 2027. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's more on
That's
track.
more on point and on track. And or unless they move it, and this the thing is, bro, it hasn't even gone to production yet. Like, and we don't know if it's going to production. You know, Daisy Ridley says she was supposed to meet to read the script. There were rumors that this was supposed to actually go into productions in September, but I doubt that.
No.
I don't think that's going to happen either. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? But you know,
she don't even have a script in her hands, and it's July,
right? Star Wars is during Christmas time made bank. It definitely did. It makes
and then they threw that away.
Yep.
They threw it away. They threw it away with Solo.
Yeah.
Stupid. So stupid because they could have held off Solo and gave people time to calm down from Last Jedi and drop Solo in December instead of dropping it 3 weeks after freaking Infinity War, and then gave Solo a chance, and then they could have kept their every other year December tradition, and we could have had probably at least four other films by now that were Star Wars stories.
Yeah.
And one hiccup, and they tucked tail and ran. That would have been so dope if we were just having Star Wars films every December, or at least every other December.
The December release slate. Yeah, thank you for being here, baby. As always, you know, definitely my baby Latoya T's in the building. Thank you for being here. Definitely Solo, Rogue One. Yup, I said it. Definitely, bro. I love. Here's the thing, bro. Much as flack has got, I love Solo. Love Rogue One. Solo was fucking fire, bro. It was fucking fire. It was everything that I needed, even though it doesn't get the love that it should. I'm familiar with
such a great anomaly because I don't like the actor who played Han, but I love the movie so much that it's still good to me. There's so many other things it does right.
Yeah, like you can bypass that. Like you can bypass the simple fact that if you didn't,
like you know what take me out of it. It's just I would have picked a better person to portray Han, who's way more serious. But there's so many other things it does perfect, like Nest alone.
Yeah, that it is, bro. Definitely. I'm familiar with the Dune lore, but for those who aren't, they've got enough time for now until the release to read up on Doom Messiah. Yeah, Doom Messiah. It's going to be interesting how they approach it. It really is. Honestly, Vinnie is making a conscious decision to stop there, and I think he should. Because once we go beyond Doom Messiah, that's when it gets real fucking crazy, bro. It really does. And because they're doing Doom Messiah, I wonder if they're bringing back Jason. Well, never mind. I don't want to say nothing. I'll leave it there because there's a lot that they can actually do. Mitchell, you know what I'm talking about, and you probably knew what I was about to say. I had to stop myself before it happened. So here we go. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, man, correction. I enjoy Solo. Damn typos at 4 a.m. in the UK. Yeah, you know, man.
Appreciate you being here this early, man.
Thank you for being here, brother, as always. I appreciate that, man. Love it. Yeah, Doom Messiah, bro. I cannot fucking wait, bro. I cannot fucking wait for
We
Doom
gotta
Messiah.
have a thing here for Doom 2 at some point before then.
Yeah. Hell yeah, bro. I think we got it, bro. We should do like Dune and Dune 2 at the crib. Like we should definitely do that, bro, at the crib.
And just separate it up so if you only like one more than the other, you can just come
whenever. Yeah. Or if you want to see it the whole way through, you know, Toya will be there. She'll probably be at your crib in the morning, like, yo, is we ready?
Let's play. She's like, press play, bro.
Let's go, press play. Let's go, bro. You already know. Let's play. Let's go. But yeah, definitely. I cannot wait. Yeah, Duncan is definitely coming back. Yeah, see, bruh.
We got to change subject before somebody starts going.
Yeah, I thought Alden killed it. Mannerisms, quirks, everything. Here's the thing, bro. I think Alden was dope. The only thing is, it was. She said, "You know, you already know." Alden killed it. I think what I wanted to see with Alden's character was what we know about Han, bro, and what we've seen about Han is that he's a grumpy ass motherfucker, bro. He's grumpy. I wanted to know why.
He doesn't playfully make jokes. He makes smart ass comments. This dude was too happy.
Yeah, I put it this way. There were definitely aspects of Han that I saw in Alden. There were certain aspects of Han that I saw that I dug. I'm like, yeah, I see it. But I wanted to see where the grumpiness came from. What upset him the most? You know what I mean? Like, what got him to that point? And I think that the motivation with Kira would have been that motivation to say, you know, this is what, you know, the broken heart of knowing that, you know, she turned her back somewhat on him or just left to keep him out of harm's way. I don't know. Yeah, he was young. He was young. He was.
It just seems like that. Young. Like, no, man. It just seems like that's probably just how Han always was. Because when he was older and he was like Return of the Jedi, Han, that was just with Leia. Like, had every reason to be happy, and he was still a son of a bitch. You know what I mean?
And like, I think, but you know what? And what's interesting about that is, though, he was young, and I believe that everything that happened after what we saw in Solo hardened him, because there was a lot of things that he actually seen getting to that point, becoming a smuggler, working for, you know, even before he even started working for Jabba the Hutt. There were a lot of things that he actually saw throughout, a lot of turmoil through his heart that kind of changed a lot. So it's just that if we would have and I think that if Alden would have had a chance, or if we would have saw like a Solo 2, or if we would have saw things develop, we would have probably have gotten there. But we were just seeing who Han was, a playful kid, you know, who was hard.
It would have been cool to see that progression, to explain that better, instead of acting like that's just him but younger, when it really wasn't. And yeah, Charlie, the name was that was probably
he got his name. Yeah. How that's the only thing that I was like, yo, really?
That and for whatever reason, Disney making, I don't know, maybe it's different for me. I don't know. But with Last Jedi and Solo, it's very, very weird for me that they made the dice such an important part. Like, we've been Star Wars fans for decades, and I don't remember ever like hearing about these fucking dice. Like, they made it such an important part of Last Jedi and Solo, and I was like, since where the fuck did these dice come from? Like, what's that about? Like, even if it was in the other films, which I don't even remember it being in them, like it was odd how that was like something that was so important. I don't know, but that and the name and my man's just demeanor were all vastly, you know, overshadowed by just how well the film was shot,
Yeah.
music, the cinematography, everything. I mean, the music in that train heist. Oh my god, like incredible. The Nest, I count Calrissian. Like there was so much that
Yeah.
they did right.
Bruh, yeah. Infus Nest, bro. I love that character.
That's what's
Paul Bettany killed it. You know, Kira, I love Kira. You know, it was bro, fucking I couldn't believe, you know, fucking how good he was as Lando, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
He was fucking dope as Lando, bro. Same gravitas, same characteristics. Incredible, bro. Incredible. So I definitely enjoyed it.
And they kind of messed up my thought canon on the Kessel Run too, because it doesn't quite make sense that that's a measurement of distance instead of time. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, those are minor things. Those weren't the things that made that movie do as poorly as it did. It was the the decisions on when to release it. I feel like that just killed it.
RIP L3, right? Definitely. This is why you can never listen to the critics until you've seen it for yourself. I highly enjoy Solo, definitely, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Donald Glover killed it. Yes, he did, man. They took a shortcut, right? Yeah, man. Again, it's going to be interesting to see where they go with these films, man. Again, if they keep to the schedule, if they just kind of break it up, December is going to definitely be an interesting month. You know, that everybody's going to love to see. And I definitely can't wait for it. But I don't know. It just depends on where we go with it. Though I can't wait to see Dune. I can't wait to see whatever, you know, the Ray film. I definitely can't wait to see the Batman. Hopefully they kill it with that.
Yeah.
We'll see. But if we had to think of which one would probably move, or which one on this list that we think would move, it would probably be the Star Wars film, bro.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it probably would.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm okay with that as long as they get it right.
Unless they're up and rolling before the end of the year, I just don't see that being a 26 release.
True, definitely true. When does Superman come out?
July 25.
Yeah, July of 2025. Okay, so then there we go with that. So that's
from Gunn, so that's about as official as
we're gonna talk about that more on Monday too, because bro. Anyway.
That's tough.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
tough.
that, yeah. I'm. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna definitely talk about that. If you're a fan of the movies, you should be excited. Definitely, bro. You should. It's gonna be an exciting time. Knights of the Old Republic, I would love to see done right, though. Yeah, bro.
That's the tricky part. Done right.
Done right, bro. And I was even thinking about a director that I would love to see that, you know, do it. Like, and for Knights of the Old Republic, bro, I wish Denis Villeneuve would. If he did, bro, bro, I would love to see a director that's really established do it, pick it up, and kill it, bro.
They don't seem overly interested in bringing existing stories to screen, though. It seems like Disney's MO is making shit with their name on it. You know, that they did. Now, don't get me wrong, Filoni's bringing a lot of legend shit, but I know this sounds fucking ridiculous, but a lot of the legend shit that Filoni's bringing in, it feels like he's enough of it is his stuff that he's just peppering with legend shit that they don't care. It's not just straight up Air and Empire being put on the screen. He's just using that title, so they're okay with it. Like,
I think that he's trying.
He's using some legend shit, but it's like, you know, enough of it is new content that they're okay with it, and you know,
Yeah.
I feel like it's a loophole instead of they're just doing legend shit. I feel like for the most part they want new stories that it's all under their umbrella instead of previous existing, you know,
Yeah.
pre buyout umbrella.
True. True. And I think that for everything that Dave is doing right now, he's trying. I think he's trying to actually bring that element in, but I just think that his hands are tied with, of course, Disney, bro. Like what they're doing, what they're allowing and what they're not allowing is it's really infiltrating. It's tough, bro. It's definitely it's tough. It is. It's tough. It's definitely tough because we know what we want to see, and I'm pretty sure that Filoni is thinking of the fans and what they want, and highly suggestive. But his hands are tied based on wigs, bro. That's the way I see it. You got to realize this is Disney fan fiction, definitely not George Lucas. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the tough part, but we'll see. We'll definitely see, man. We'll definitely see. Anyway. Thank you guys for being here, everybody. It was such an incredible show. I do appreciate each and every one of you for being here. You made it such an interesting show, and this is why we do it. We will be back next Thursday for episode 7. We are inching closer and closer to the finale, man.
Yes.
So I cannot wait to see what's going on. So I thank each and every one of you guys for being here, rocking with us this evening. And even on the 4th of July, so glad to have you here. Vinnie, what you think's going on? What you got going on, bro?
I managed to fit everything into the first 3 days of the week, and I got a super rare 4-day weekend here, so I'm just enjoying it, spending time with family, catching up on reading. I'm reading a bunch of stuff now and organizing some stuff around the crib, getting some stuff done around the house. Looking forward to Combo Talk with Friends on Monday, where I'm sure we'll be discussing some interesting.
Guy Gardner, but we'll wait till Monday to talk.
Discussing that on Monday. Then of course the penultimate Acolyte episode we'll be discussing next week here on Uncivilized Scoundrels, and there's some other stuff we'll be I'm sure getting into. There's tons of news all the time. Every day there's something new to talk about, so we'll be diving into all that as it comes.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely. We will be diving into that as always. And again, thank you each and every one of you. Tomorrow, remember, is Figure Flicks Friday, so definitely get in on over there. So the summer madness is going on. Collectors Lounge International on Sunday. Comic Book Talk with Friends Monday. Say What Wednesday. Uncivilized Scoundrels next. Full rotation. You already know what it is. But definitely thank you guys for being here. Shout out to CC3PO. Shout out to Mario. For those who couldn't actually be here with us tonight, we held it down for y'all. We'll see you guys next week. Until then, everybody out there, Mitchell Lawrence, Charlie the Unicorn, CT603, who we got? Renz Talentino, Beskar Kid, Ben Thomas, aggressively relaxing in the building. We got IG Kevin in the building. Everybody out, you don't have to bring it up. Jeffrey in the building. Everybody out there, thank you guys for coming through. Renz Talentino, all y'all, man. We love y'all. Until next week, we are out. We'll check y'all out later. Uncivilized signing out. Remember, you already know. Peace, peace.
So uncivilized.